Hello everyone, my name is Chris Ruanda and welcome to WorldStudentScope. It's another day. So today we are going to check the task 2 and we are going to deal with essays. So I will explain to you each and everything and how we have to write body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2 and so on. It's very simple, just come with me and follow with everything which I'm teaching you. This is task 2 essay type of question. So writing Ielts, it has got 2 tasks, whereby there is task 1 and then there is task 2. Task 1 you have to spend only 20 minutes, whereby in task 1 there is infographic type of question if it's academic, and if it's general there is letter writing type of question. In task 2, there's no difference between general and academic. All of them will be given essay, and if you be given essay, now you have to write according to type of essay. And in task 2, the essay are different categories. First, we have problem and solution type of essay, we have causes and effect type of essay, we have advantages and disadvantage type of essay, and lastly, we have agree and disagree type of essay. So today we are going to check this type of essay, which is agree or disagreeing type of essay, whereby we will check the structure of how to write the essay in very good manner and in very convincing manner. So right now we are being given this type, and here we have to spend 40 minutes, and after that one you have to make sure your words are at least 250 words. At least 250 words. There is no word limit, but you have to spend 250 words at least. So let's start to check out our question. Some people say that e-books and modern technology will totally replace traditional newspaper and magazine. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this notion? So, first of all, we have to understand the question. If you understand the question, you achieve something which is called task achievement. Task achievement is the first step to understand the question and know how you're going to answer the question. So after that one, now you have to write your introduction. Introduction will be written after understanding the task. So your introduction will include paraphrasing the key words or the main features of a given question. So introduction. In your introduction, you have to paraphrase the question. For example, if we try to find the keywords from the given question of us, we can get e-books and also modern technology, okay? And also we have magazine and newspaper, traditional magazine and newspaper. There are different ways of pronouncing or of writing these words. For example, if you say e-books, we can say social media study material. Also, if we say traditional newspaper and magazine, we know them, which we use the original books or original copies in the form of papers. So, the question is about, some people do say e-books, that means the internet books, the books we read from different social media. For example, if you read the book from E2 language, which is online, for example, if you read another book from Google, if you read the book from Firefox, Mozilla, if you read also the books from different platforms. And they say this type of books will reach the time that will replace the real original copies. That means the physical book which you carry by your own hand and the books which are made from papers. So to what extent do you agree or disagree? Do you think e-books and modern technology will totally replace the traditional newspaper and magazine? Do you think that way? So let's take a look. We will discuss this in agreeing point of view and disagreeing point of view. And last, you have to give your conclusion. What do you think? Is it okay? What do you think? Do you agree with that or not? So as I told you before, you have to start with your introduction, whereby in introduction you paraphrase the question, you paraphrase the statement, you paraphrase the notion given. After paraphrasing now, you can come to body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, as well as you can write also body paragraph 3. After that, you come to your conclusion, whereby in a conclusion, you will give out your opinion, you give out your views, you give out your points. What do you think? Is it, do you agree with this one or you disagree? That's upon you. That's up to you. So let's take a look. Now we add introduction, as we discussed. Let's come to body paragraph 1. Okay? Before going to body paragraph 1, we have the phrase or statement of showing now you are starting to write your points. You can say, I agree with this notion by the following strong points of views. Or you can say, I disagree with this notion by the following point of views. Also, you can say, I partially agreeing and I partially disagreeing, but let's start to look disagreeing point of views as follow. Or the following points we'll discuss about this notion by the strong points. So if you start to write your body paragraph 1, there are some connectors which can be used. We can use firstly, we can use in contemporary era, you can use to begin with, and you can use to start with. Depends on what you are comfortable with. After that one now, you have to write your point. For example, let's say, I agree with this notion by the following point. So my body paragraph 1 will be about agreeing, and my body paragraph 2 will be about disagree. Okay? So now we are starting with agreeing. I agree that e-books, internet books, and some social media platform which you use them for studying will replace newspaper and magazine. I agree with this notion and I think it's a positive change. First reason we can say, time consuming or time management. When I say time consuming, we have to know we are trying to utilize our time in very good manner without wasting it. Take for instance, a person is working 24/7 in office. He or she will get hard time to go outside to take books and start reading. Rather than staying in office and just reading from the computer, just reading from the magazine, from the laptop, just reading from the smartphone. It will be easier for the person to know what is going on the world, to know what is going on in his or her own country, rather than going outside, starting wasting the time, looking for the books, looking for newspaper, whereby you have to work 24/7 for your own development. So time consuming, this is the first thing. As you can find now, people are too busy. They cannot read newspaper, they cannot go to find the magazine, they cannot get the book, rather than they are using laptops to get what they want, to get the news all over the world. Another one, we can say conserving of environment. Conserving of environment. It means we keep our environment safe. We keep our environment good place for better living of different kind of races. Take for instance, we are using papers in making magazine and books. You know, if we are using papers, this is waste. So if we use a lot of paper in making books, it means we will pollute the environment by having waste materials. So instead of using papers, instead of polluting the environment, instead of polluting the land, we can use e-books, whereby there's no need of paper, there is no need of polluting the environment or polluting the land. So if we use e-books, it will be a good way of conserving the environment, and people also can enjoy the clean and very conducive environment. Rather than of taking papers, because after reading the magazine it will get no use, then a person will throw dust, a person will throw the papers, that means he or she will start to waste and causing wasting during environment. So, good thing, people should try to use e-books. Another point we can say, the usage of e-books helps to keep different species. The use of e-books will help to get, I can say, settlement for other species. Take for instance, if you make books, if you make a magazine, if you make a newspaper, now we are using papers. And papers are coming from the trees. That means we cut down the trees. If you cut down the trees, now there are some species do live at the forest. For example, we have some animals such as zebra, antelope, and more others who do live from the forest. Also, we have some species of birds which do live on the forests, especially on trees. So if we cut down the trees to make the magazine, to make the paper, it means we are going to distract some settlement, some places, and some habitants for some species. And by doing so, it's the wrong thing. So we can try to use e-books and avoid those things, and avoid disturbance, and avoid losing of some species which are very important to our knowledge, which are very important to our society, and whereby we can get foreign exchange by just doing provision of national park and zoos and attraction of national tourists. So it's better thing we use our e-books. If we try to use trees, sometimes, as I told you, we can lose some very potential species in our nation, very potential species in our country. Okay, so that was agreeing part of view. Now we are going to disagreeing part of view. Before we go on, WorldStudentScope give you nice experience, give you nice tips, and helps you how to solve your problem, helps you how to solve your queries, and also can help you how to develop your English language, either in communication skill or writing skill, and then you can become a good speaker or good English user. Let's go on with this agreeing type of point. We can say, in other end, I agree this notion, or I partially disagree this notion by the following strong points. You can agree, as I told you, in B paragraph 1. Now, B body paragraph 2, it means we are going to disagree. We are going to say e-books won't replace this magazine and newspaper. That means there's importance of e-books over there's importance of magazine and traditional newspaper over e-books. Let's take a look. What are the importance? Let's check it up. What are being used? What importance of newspaper? What importance of magazine? Let's try to take a look. Okay? In B, body paragraph 2, whereby we are going to discuss our disagreeing point. Let's say, first of all, usage of internet or usage of e-books can lead to sight distraction. Okay? Sight distraction. Or there's negative impact on eyesight. Okay? If a person uses more e-books, for example, smartphone, laptop, or desktop, or more, maybe tablet, okay, there is rays from the screen. Those rays, when they are reflected, they are going to affect your eyes. They are going to affect your iris. They are going to affect your pupil. And after that one, now it means a person will get eyesight problems. Someone can have the problems of long eyesight effect, or someone can have short eye effects and starting using spectacles in very young age and start using glasses in very young age because your eyesight has been already distracted by the rise from the e-books. So many people prefer to use just books and the normal copies to avoid eyes distraction. Another point we can say, usage of newspaper and magazine, okay? Gaining or achieving original knowledge. When a person has written a book, original book, so you got an original copy. It means if it's original copy, then all the materials are found on that. If it can be changed to ebooks, it means there are some crucial information can be either deleted or there are some crucial information that can be added more. So if you read the original copy of book, that you will get your first general knowledge, you will get the original information from the given book. So it will be easier for you and it will be very, very comfortable for a person to achieve the best and the good information as the first or primary reader. Another, we can say, brings discomfort. We understand not all of us or not all of human beings prefer to use laptops, prefer to use smartphones, prefer to use desktop for reading some materials, or prefer to use internet. We have elders. Most of elders can spend most of their time to read newspaper. Most of elders can spend most of their time to read the magazine, the real magazine, or they can spend most of the time to read the book instead of taking their time surfing in smartphones. Okay? They prefer to use this magazine, natural magazine, and newspaper. So if they say they use e-books or they use internet, brings discomfort to them. So they prefer to get the real material, original copy, what is available at the moment, and not using of e-books. So sometimes bring discomfort between people, and if it's bring discomfort between people, people prefer much to use newspaper, especially the elder one. Sit maybe 2 or 3 hours, sometimes they spend even 5 hours reading magazines and not using e-books. They are not comfortable with that. Okay? So after writing your points in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, now you have to write also the conclusion. Okay? If you write the conclusion, it means in conclusion you are summarizing or you sum up what you have written above. Before I write the conclusion, I would like to tell you one thing. First, you have to use wide range of vocabularies in your writing task. Second, you have to use wide range of connectors. For example, if you are differentiating, for example, if you are going to shift to another body paragraph, or for example, if you are going to write your points, you can just use connectors. We have different of connectors, whereas you can use while, we can use whereas, you can use with, you can use therefore, you can use although, we can use despite of or in spite of, you can use in other end or in other end and other end in another end, whereby you are just doing distinction of points. So now we are in conclusion. In your conclusion, it means you are giving your view. In your conclusion, it means you are giving your points. In conclusion, you are summing up what you have said above. In your conclusion also, you can write your measures, you can write your opinion. What do you think? What should be done? What do you agree? What is better for you and what is better for people? So let's try to take a look. For example, for my own, I say I agree. So if I agree, I will lay on point of e-books. Okay? So, in conclusion, to conclude this point or this notion, I agree or I support the use of e-books since we are in the period of, or we are in era of science and technology. So e-books are easy because they help us in avoid wasting of time where you search your materials, for example, newspaper. Also, they can help to protect the environment since cutting of trees will lead to deforestation. If we lead to deforestation, it means we have a lot or high rate of carbon dioxide gas. And if you have a rate of carbon dioxide gas now, it may lead to the destruction of ozone layer, whereby people can get cancer, whereby people can get different kind of diseases, since ozone layer will not protect direct sunlight, which is ultraviolet sunlight. So, in my conclusion, I will agree with this notion. Like we have to use e-books for the betterment of the world. We have to go with the trend of the world because the world right now is in science and technology. So it's better you use your e-books, and it's very cheap. It is not cost-free, very cheap for you, and it's very portable because you can read, you can carry your mobile phone each and every place. You can get the information, and the world is like a village when you do internet searching or internet reading. So after that now, we are going to check another type of question. Okay, so this is another type of question. Influence of human being on the world's ecosystem. World's ecosystem is leading to extinction of species and loss of biodiversity. What are the primary causes of the loss of biodiversity, and what are the solutions? At the beginning, I think I explained to you, right? We have different type of questions in essay. First, I told you problem and solution type of essay, agreeing and disagreeing type of essay, also causes and effect type of essay, and a disadvantage and advantages type of essay, or pro and cons type of essay. This type of essay is another type compared to the past one or the last lecture. This one is causes and solution. What are the primary causes of this one? And what are the solutions for this one? Okay? So you have to write your introduction as usual. In your introduction, you have to paraphrase. Then you have to write your body paragraph 1. After that one, you have to write body paragraph 2. And after writing body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, it means you are going also to write your conclusion. So make sure body paragraph 1 will talk about the primary causes for the loss of biodiversity, and body paragraph 2 are going to explain about the solution of loss of biodiversity. What can be done to avoid this one? What are the measures or solutions to be taken to avoid loss of biodiversity in our contemporary era? What can be done? Let's go take a look here, and I explain to you each and every step and solution and what can be done to save the world, what can be done to conserve our environment, what can be done to protect our natural resources. First, we have introduction. In introduction, we have to paraphrase the word, we have to paraphrase the notion, we have to paraphrase this question. Paraphrasing it means we have world ecosystem. Ecosystem, it means the natural cycle of living organism. Okay? We have natural cycle of living organism whereby there is web, okay? There's in chain, okay? And also there is web. Food chain and food web. When I say food chain and food web, it means living organisms do depend on each other as a food chain. For example, we plant a trees, okay? Human being, let's say, goat feed on trees or plants. Then human being feed on goat. After human being feed on goat, human being will die. And then bacteria feed on human being. The bacteria again are going to make materials, are going to make minerals, whereby the minerals can be used to grow the plants. Okay? We can get humus from there. Now, let's take a look. Body paragraph 1, just paraphrase it. That is loss of biodiversity. When I say bio, it means living things or living organism. And when I say biodiversity, it means environment. So let's try to take a look. Body paragraph 1, you are going to write about causes. Okay? So what are the causes for the loss of biodiversity? What are the causes for extinction of some species? Let's try to take a look. When I say body paragraph 1 now, you have to write your point, you have to define your point, you have to explain your point, and give vivid examples. For example, if you have read the magazine of Times of India, or if you have read the magazine from the New York magazine, or any type of magazine which has got vivid example at the very recent years or very recent time, it could be better and it could add for your band and your score. So influence of human being on the world ecosystem is leading to extinction of some species and loss of biodiversity. What are the primary causes? Let's take one thing. Human beings are the primary cause for the loss of biodiversity. Human beings are the primary cause for the loss of natural environment. First, we have air pollution. Air pollution. Human beings do cause air pollution in high extent compared to other living organisms. So human beings in world ecosystem are the ones who are causing air pollution. We have industries which do produce sulfur dioxide. We have industries which do produce carbon monoxide and some different of gases which are not good for the earth and which are not good for ozone layer. They will lead to destruction of ozone layer. If they lead to destruction of ozone layer, it means sun will hit direct to the earth. And if sun will hit direct to the earth now, we get greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect, this is the process whereby sun enters in earth and it won't go outside from the earth through ozone layer. And after that one, we have global warming. If we cause global warming, there are some animals which do live in very cold condition. For example, we have penguins in Atlantic, okay? So it's very cold, and if it's getting hot and glaciers are coming to melt, those penguins will not survive. And if we will not survive, now we have extinction of some species and loss of biodiversity. That's the first thing. So human being cause air pollution. Another thing, human being cause water pollution. Human beings are the source of water contamination. If I say water contamination, it means we are just adding impurities in water. We are just adding unneeded impurities in water. Human beings do add impurities in water whereby they do contaminate water. And this is not good for living organisms. For example, we have fish, okay? We have some aquatic animals. If we are going to contaminate the water, we are going to put impurities in water. It will be very, very bad for those creatures. So, human beings do pollute the water. For example, some do fish illegally by the use of bombs. Some do fish illegally by the use of poison. And also some do use the net which has got very, very small holes. And by doing this one, now they contaminate water. If you contaminate water, it means they are living organisms or aquatic animals. And after that one, aquatic animals, they can lose their life. And if aquatic animals lose their life, now the extinction of species and loss of biodiversity, which is caused by human being. We are going on also. Other causes for human being, okay? We have, we say, extensive or intensive exploration of natural resources. Intensive exploration of natural resources, okay? Or intensive utilization of natural resources. There is intensive utilization, intensive exploration of natural resources. Now we know human beings have distracted almost half of the Earth's surface. Human beings cutting down the trees to make some tall buildings which are known as skyscrapers. We have a tallest building in Dubai which is called Burj Khalifa. Each and every one of you, I think, know about that. So at that point, at the first, there were trees. So human beings cut down the trees without replacement of new trees to make very tall buildings known as skyscraper. Okay? So if you cut down the trees, it means we exploit the natural resources. We're just using the natural resources to make other things, which is not good. Human beings do use trees to make papers. Human beings do use trees to make wood. Human beings do use trees to make timbers, do cut down the trees without replacement to make chairs, to make tables, and so on and so on. By using this one now, we are going to distract the balance or equilibrium of biodiversity in ecosystem, which is not a good thing, which is not recommended. After a while, we can have the loss of species and some animals. So human beings are the major causes of this one. I think you know, you are a human being, I'm a human being. Let's try to save the world. Let's try to keep our environment safe for our betterment and for the future generation. If we are going to distract the environment, that means the future generation will got no natural resources. We have no natural resources. Human beings do use water, do contaminate the water. That is not a good thing. Now, we have another point, the causes of the loss of biodiversity. We say development of science and technology, which is highly caused by human beings. If we say development of science and technology, which is caused by human beings, this leads to loss of species. How do that lead? Listen to me. For example, the scientists do use animals for the experiments. Scientists do use rats. Scientists do use some type of frogs for the experiment. And after experiment, now those species are not going to survive. They will die obviously. Okay? So if they will die, that means we are trying to distract. We are trying to disturb the ecosystem. Okay? Now you can find how human beings are causing a lot of effects on our Earth's surfaces, which is no good thing. You and me, it's our duty. You and me, it's our task to keep our environment safe and to keep or to protect the natural resources. So for more English tips, if you want to get more knowledge, you can visit our online platform of WorldStudentScope, whereby you have to subscribe for only $1.99. Very simple, very cheap. You get a lot of knowledge. Now let us shift to another point. Now we are discussing about solutions. So after seeing the causes, after seeing the roots, after seeing the problems which are being caused by human beings, now what are the solutions? What are the good things which can be done? Let's try to take it up. Follow me and discuss with me. First of all, we can say governmental support. How can government support act as a solution for protecting of natural resources? Government should impose, or government should put very strict rules, very strict laws, and not only imposing, they should impose and implement for those who are going to destruct the environment. For example, we can say if person is going to dump or dispose waste illegally, can be charged 1,000 rupees, okay, per waste. And this it has to be followed. It has to be strictly followed. By doing this one, government will help us to protect and conserve our environment. And that one will be very, very great thing, will be very good thing for the future generation. Another solution we have is provision of education. Okay? People should be provided with education, environmental education. How to keep your environment. People should be well educated through seminars. Should also be some workshop for how to keep your environment, for how to conserve your environment. They should be given each and everything about how to conserve your environment. What are the negative impacts if we are going to pollute our environment? What are negative impacts if we are going to contaminate water? What are the negative impacts if we are going to do intensive exploration of our natural resources? What are the importance of just keeping well our soil and avoid soil erosion? People should be given education. Provision of education is highly needed to people on how to protect our natural environment. Another point we have, the solution can be done is plantation of trees. Okay? The government should start the project because right now a lot of trees all over the world are being cut down. A lot of deforestation have been occurred in different parts of the world. A lot of deforestation have been taking place and no any action have been acted upon. So, plantation of trees should be started. For example, the government can start the slogan of cut one tree, plant 3 trees. Cut one tree, plant 4 trees. If you cut down one tree, plant 4 trees. If you just cut one tree, replace with more than one tree. Plantation of trees should start. And the government should give reward or motivate those people who are planting trees to keep our environment safe, to keep our air very natural, to keep our air very pure and fresh. Because now the air has been polluted in high amount. Do we have the use of petrol cars? We have the use of diesel cars. We have the factories which produce those chlorofluorocarbons which are not good for the earth, which are not good for the environment. So, plantation of trees should be highly encouraged. Plantation of trees should be highly motivated between people and the citizens of some places or host environment. Another thing, what can be solution? Which do you think for this one is, I discussed before, imposition of task. Okay? The government should add a lot of tasks to those industries which do produce materials. Okay? If we increase the task, now people will just try to use, let's say, to close the industries. If the task is higher, the industries can be closed. For example, we had 100 industries. Okay? And then, now we add up the task. Some won't be able to pay up the task. If they are not going to be able to pay up the task, it means they are going to close the industries. So if we have 100 industries, for instance in Chandigarh, the task is added up. That means some will not be able to pay for the task. And if they won't be able to pay for the task, they will definitely close the industries. After that, we can have maybe only 10 industries which they are able to pay for the increased task. We can find here we have decreased some negative impacts on environment based with air pollution. Okay? So, our imposing of high task, which can lead to this one. Another thing, we have the solution of usage of recycled materials. Okay? Usage of recycled material. Usage of recycled material. Okay, people should try to use the materials which can be recycled again. For example, we have bottles. Bottles can be changed to other kind of bottles or other stuffs. We have papers. Papers can be changed because they are recycled, can be changed to other stuffs. So usage of recycled material can play a higher role, can play very important role on conserving our environment, as human beings are the primary source of environmental destruction. Another thing we can say, after you have used the recycled materials, okay, we have imposition or discovered of new scientific method on how to conserve the environment. Just get the point. There are scientific ways should be imposed or should be discovered, whereby it can help to exchange or to reduce the air, the polluted air to pure air. Okay, scientifically. This one can be used, and this one can lead to high rate of conserving our environment and also conserving our species and avoiding uses of species. Some people or some human beings do poaching, okay? When I say poaching, it means illegally hunting of animals, illegally killing of animals, okay? Take for instance, people are hunting elephants. What is the reason? People are hunting rhinos. People are hunting illegally crocodiles. They are hunting elephants to get their ivory. If they get their ivory, it means they are going to use to make buttons of the shirts, or they are going to make anything for the shoes. If they are killing also the crocodile, now they are using their skin to make leather shoes. So, government should try to impose high or very strict laws to save the environment. If this one is not going to be saved, this one will be implemented, now we can lose our natural resources, we can lose our natural environment, and our future generation won't be able to see what God has given us and what natural environment look like. Then, after explaining those, we are coming to the conclusion. Conclusion. In conclusion, you are going to conclude. What do you think? What are your opinions? What are your ways? What should be done by the government? What should be done by everybody in order to conserve the environment? Okay? So you have to give your opinion. I know each and every one of you got his or her own opinion on this matter, because each and everything has been done for human being, it can be seen. Each and every effect can be observed. Each and every negative impact which human beings have caused to the air surface can be observed, can be seen clearly with no hesitation. So in my conclusion, we can say all governmental sectors should provide education to people of all races, people of all ages, no matter what. Should tell them about the positive impact on how to conserve the environment. Should tell them the positive impact on how to keep our environment safe. Should tell people on how to avoid illegally poaching or illegally hunting of animals, because we have to make the world better for tomorrow. We have to make the world better for the next generation as we have made the world there was. Our ancestors kept the world. Our ancestors tried to conserve the environment for us. Tried to conserve environment for our better, which we are using right now. And also, we should try to conserve our environment for the better future of our generation, of our offspring, of our children, and of our coming generation youngster. By using this provision of education, people can be educated. We have large number of literacy, okay? We have high literacy rate, whereby each and everyone can get educated, and after doing so, it will help to conserve our environment. So this is the end of our lecture. And for more English tips, for more questions, for more queries, if you want to get also your mock exams, you can visit our platform, you can visit our online club, which is WorldStudentScope, and you can just subscribe for less amount of money, which is $1.99, and it can help you to get your achieved band and increase your knowledge. Thank you everybody and welcome.